Hello, Empathic Healers. Our journal prompt for today: what does it feel like when you can't help others? In this video, I will guide you along the journaling process to check in with yourself to increase self-awareness, assess your energy, and align with the source of unconditional love. If you're new to me, my name is Robin Knott, and I'm your host of Energy Healing TV and podcast on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify, and the founder of the EnergyHealingSchool.com. Welcome to what I call the self-love movement. It is my deepest belief if we all loved ourselves enough, suicide wouldn't be a thing, which is why we do this self-care challenge, showing up every day, checking in with ourselves, and making sure we're okay. So are you ready to dig deeper? Grab your journal and journal with me. Got mine right here. Today we're talking about emotions, which we also refer to as energy and motion, right? Because our emotions can amplify so much. Amplifies the energy, right? And the sacral chakra energy, which the sacral chakra governs our emotions. And also, don't let me forget to mention that if you know someone who could benefit from this video, please share it out so they can see it too. So back to, let me do this first. Process for how I journal, right? So start it off, energy healing lifestyle journal, write it out, set the focus, get the mindset ready, right? Write out self-care challenge. I underline the E. Self-care is the acronym. E stands for emotions. And then I write that as well. Emotions, energy and motion, sacral chakra energy, so that I know what I'm focusing on when I'm going to do the journaling, right? Hi, lady. Hey, loves. Is this Rebecca? I wish Facebook would show the name again, or StreamYard, whichever one's not showing the name. But hello, thank you for coming on. And then the journal prompt again for today is, what does it feel like when you can't help others? And of course, like awful, right? It has this icky feeling to it. And some of the comments, that was shared on the post fell in line with that. I even got a couple private messages, right, that spoke to the achy feelings that come, especially when it comes to kiddos, right? When kids need help or our kids need help. So reflecting even on my own adult children, when my adult kids might need help and then I can't help them, that's a really icky feeling. So that came up in the journaling process. And what else? I was trying to dig a little deeper, right? Like, what is it about that whole statement and those feelings? Like, what else is coming along with them? Kind of the whys. No, I like to ask the why, right? Go deeper with the why. And there's that sense of responsibility to help other people, especially our kids, even if they're grown. And then, so with that sense of responsibility, and we want to help and we can't, then it can also trigger those or bring about those feelings of like being a failure or not good enough, unworthy. Blame, shame, or guilt can sneak in there. Defeated, that's an icky feeling too, but that defeated feeling, helplessness, right? What else did I put in here? The blame, shame, and guilt because of those expectations, right? Because we set expectations on ourselves, especially when it's our kids, whether they're grown or not, that we are supposed to help. We're supposed to be able to do certain things. We're supposed to be able to fix things. Then I was thinking about even if it's like emotional or mental health, like there's down and, it's like they're not babies anymore. You can't just kiss their boo-boos and make it all better. It's, you have that hopeless or helpless feeling. But it's because we hold those expectations on ourselves. So we're supposed to fix it. We're supposed to heal it. And we're supposed to, even when it's not ours, right? Even when the responsibility is not ours to take. Sometimes we feel like it is. And there's a storm of emotions that comes along with that. Rebecca says, yeah, it's me. I couldn't help my son today. Had to send dad to pick him up. Made me feel like a failure as a mom. Doesn't it? So I'm sorry you had to feel that way. But I feel you. Like, yeah, I won't start listing all the things that I wanted to help my kids with and then couldn't. And then you're right, those feelings are just icky. Also feeling guilt about not being able to help my parents financially. That too, right? There's a lot. There's a lot that come along with helping and having that expectation that we're supposed to help and just that desire. So it's interesting too, because I didn't have a whole lot to talk about, right? Other than that, I thought, well, that's a real bummer. But I like to Google every now and again. I thought, what kind of articles are out there on this topic? And it's what I find interesting is I like to always, my mind goes all over the place and I dig deeper and other questions come about, and we know this. But even in Googling the questions, there's two sides. There's two different or opposing perspectives about that feeling like we need to help. In some of the responses, I'm not going to read all these articles, but just to share tidbits with you, some of these responses were like, when you don't feel good enough or valuable enough that you try to help other people to feel better about yourself. Like there's that perspective in quite a few areas, like even Psychology Today had that. And another, though, then it turns around and talks about there's 10 benefits of helping others, right? It does feel good to help others, and it creates a sense of belonging, and it gives a sense of purpose, and helps keep things in perspective. And I, again, didn't read them all, but just sharing those complete opposite perspectives when it comes to helping other people. So just the other point too of doing your own journaling, that it is individualized and it is personal to each and every one of us, right? So even though we might all use the same journal prompt, and we don't have to, but again, I just share it. And if we did use that one, we still might have very different perspectives that come about, right? And then as empathic healers, we have that strong sense to help other people. And then a lot does come. It does feel like there's something, and still haven't pinpointed it yet. Like there's this other, do you ever do that? You have this idea or this emotion or this thing you're trying to identify, and it's like right there, but not connecting with the brain yet. I thought it was gonna finally, but it's not. I guess it's not. But again, it's different for each of us, but it does feel good to help. However, the point being, as we journal and as we deep dive and as we take a look, is still putting into perspective of what is ours, right? So we've also been talking about healthy boundaries and protecting our energy. So if you've not already seen or signed up for the masterclass, the Empathic Healers masterclass, let me know if you want the link. I'll drop that in the comments where I go a little bit deeper, into the process of setting those boundaries and protecting your energy and really looking at what is ours and what isn't. Because I'll just share this one example. And I use this to remind myself. So sometimes with my kids, and reflecting back is, they're getting a little bit older and teenagers, and there's still some things where maybe they don't even want mom to fix, but mom wants to fix, right? But when you can't, because it's really not ours anyway, sometimes for them to be able to learn or process and figure it out on their own, just with some other type of support, like you're still there, you're still giving some love and support. It's just you can't fix it, you can't take over, you can't do the thing, or just take over the whole thing. But the lesson they get from that and the growth they get from that is pretty amazing. So in some ways, to try to remind ourselves that it's not always, even though it feels icky, it's not always a bad thing when we can't help, right? It is a hard lesson sometimes, depending on the situation. I'm not saying this is a cookie cutter explanation or that it fits every situation, but oftentimes it's in those moments where they really get their best lesson and their best growth, and which will help them on in the future, right? Sometimes the best gift we can give is by not helping, or not helping in the ways that we kind of want to help, if that makes sense. I don't know if I worded that the right way, but hopefully that made sense. Because I can think even for myself, there were times when I come across hard times, and then my parents were like, You're on your own, kid. I'm thinking, I was pretty bummed, and I felt bad being on the, I want to say, receiving end of that, but not really receiving end of that. But struggling, and who wants to struggle and then feeling kind of jaded because my parents aren't even helping me, and whether I had an understanding of it or not, or assuming they could have helped me, maybe they really couldn't. But the point being is I figured it out. And then having that opportunity to figure it out helped me in future when I come into hard times. And I think, well, I figured it out before, I can figure it out again. And I figured it out before and I could figure it out again. Right. And then you start to teach yourself and trust yourself and learn that I can get through stuff. And that is pretty amazing. That's really a nice gift too. So sometimes when we think that we're not helping, maybe we really are. Or when we're helping in a way that doesn't necessarily solve somebody else's problem or take care of it completely, that might be a better thing in the long run, right? So really deciding or figuring out what is ours to be responsible for, what is ours to take, what is ours to fix, and allowing space, because it's really not up to us to fix everything for everyone, right? And just being that love and support for others as they're fixing their own stuff is pretty amazing too. So I'm going to end on that more positive note. So thank you for being here on the live with me. Thank you for all who come on the replay. Oh, wait, let me say hello. Hi. Hello there. Thanks for coming on. It's not telling me who it is. It's like a guessing game, but thanks for being here. I appreciate it. You caught just the end of it, I think. But hopefully you heard something of worth and value. And of course, I invite you all to come back tomorrow and journal with me when we will talk about tomorrow, Wednesday, self-image and meeting ourselves with love and compassion and the solar plexus chakra. And again, if you haven't already, signed up for the Empathic Healers Masterclass, a step-by-step guide to set boundaries and protect your energy. Let me know if you'd like that link in the comments, and I will drop it in there for you. Oh, there's Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. Thanks, love. So much love to you. Oh, was that you? Do you hop over on YouTube so I could see you? I'm not sure. Facebook's not showing who it is. Thanks for being here, though. So much love. Good to see you. And Rebecca, thank you as well. And I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Love you bunches. See you then. Have a wonderful evening. Night, guys.